To another NOVAtazz automotive podcast. I think this is episode 19 um, of season 4. Sorry about missing last week. We were away out on vacation and I wasn't going live. Um, I did place a video in place of the live. Some of you guys saw it, some of you guys maybe not. I don't know. Um, But welcome back to another episode. Hopefully, we'll have some people joining us here shortly. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I want to say you can. Um, but yeah, let me get the chat popped out here so I can see your guys' comments. There we go. Alrighty, and so I did post a video out this morning. I did not get a chance to edit the other video I wanted to and get that up, as I was busy pulling a transmission all day. I guess I'll explain a little bit about that. Well, that's a good place to be, I guess. If I had a Mach 1, I don't know. Kind of wish I was out working on the TA right now, but there's another project that is more concerning at the moment. We need a second daily driver. As if you caught the video this morning or the short or follow me on Instagram or whatever, I wrecked one of our two daily driver Kia Souls. I had a deer cut in front of a car, an oncoming car, and I didn't see it, and it cut. Yeah, it didn't make it all the way across the front of my car before it hit it. So the green Kia Soul is totaled. It's already sold for parts. Pulled the transmission out of the truck to get either get it rebuilt or to get a basically just use it as a core. It's what I was doing all day by myself. And anybody who knows how much a 46RE weighs, they weigh a freaking half metric ton. Working on uneven pavement with just a jack stand and hand tools, so that was not nearly as fun as I would have liked it to be. But we did it. It's out. I just need to take it to the trans shop probably Friday. I work basically Monday through Thursday the whole day, so there's no time to take it. I don't know if you're live yet. It is currently 9:05, so if you hear me when it's like maybe 9:06, then you should be okay. Now, if you're hearing me and it's like 9:10, well, then you're probably behind. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll get some more people up here. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do, because it lets people know that that this is somewhere fun to come and hang out with. And as long as I have you guys in the chat, chit-chatting with me, we should be able to do pretty okay, even if there's nobody else up here with me. It does take a little bit for me to be able to see your comments, so if I don't reply right away, that'll be it. Let's see if I can talk myself to death until then. Let me open up my... I don't think this is just... probably not. Let me open up my beer here real quick. Alright, well, that's good to hear. You're having a better day than I've had a better week. Considering it was my birthday last Friday. So, girlfriend surprised me with a trip down to Wildwood, which was awesome, except for the fact that it rained. Not her fault. Can't help that. Poster out from underneath my keyboard. But it did kind of suck. I enjoyed. I mean, we saw some pretty cool stuff. We walked the beach even though it was freaking very foggy and wet. But we did find some pretty cool shells. Because of the fact that nobody was out, we were able to see, find some pretty cool looking shells. I got to see some kind of ray. I don't know what kind of ray it was. It was stuck in one of the tidal pools. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it kind of sucked that it was raining. Hopefully we can go again later in the year and it be at least sunny outside. But I do have some updates on the Trans Am. Obviously, I just told you the update on the truck. We're pulling the transmission out. We're going to send that out, get it replaced. I might just get just might use it as a core and pick up an already built one. It'll be the fastest way because then I could have the truck up and running as quick as possible. Because only having one car kind of sucks. Especially when we're just lucky that me and Jess have opposite work schedules. I work during the week, she works on the weekend. So she's got the car currently, which is why I don't take the transmission down tomorrow. But so, it is what it is. Transmission in the truck's getting replaced. We lost one of the Kia Souls. Thankfully the other one's doing just fine. Work on the Trans Am has been halted a little bit because obviously I can't work on two things at once. So truck needed to get done. So putting a halt on the Trans Am to get the truck done. But I do have a video that I need to edit. I actually filmed it before we went on vacation and just haven't had time to edit it. So I'm gonna get that edited, get that thrown up. Waiting on parts. I have parts ordered. We have full wiring harness, new valve covers, alternator, power steering pump, and Pontiac's light blue metallic paint to refresh the paint that's on the block. Because being in storage did kind of take a toll on everything underneath the hood. It being underneath of a tarp was not the best thing for it as far as moisture. So, like to get the underside of the engine cleaned up. Throw a coat of chassis paint on chassis black on the inside of the inside of the engine bay. Get some Pontiac metallic blue on the block. Because I got to replace the valve covers because they rusted. So I want to get new ones of those, get them put on so it looks nice. Because I'm gonna put all that new parts on and then it's gonna look like crap because didn't do anything else. Not sure what. I think Cat's on a field trip out to Edmonton. Third gen Nova. What do you consider the third gen? You consider that the 30, now the 70, 73, 74? Or do you consider them the 69 through 74? Technically mine's fourth gen, which is a 70, 75 through 79. And my car will be going black and silver. At least, actually, black and I think it's black and like a pepper gray. I don't know if I'm gonna do an actual silver. But it'll be separated by a mustard pinstripe. Pretty much the same color I use in my logo. Harvey, if you get a picture of it, send it to my Instagram or Facebook if you follow it. I'd like to see that. I don't know if you follow me on any of those or not. That's pretty good. Oh, so the videos that I've been putting out have been doing pretty good. Um, except for I had one taken down off of TikTok. TikTok seems to be my biggest issue anyway. They get all freaking weird. Oh, I don't want that connected to there. Hold on a second. There we go. So I mean, hopefully you guys are watching and enjoying those. If by the way, if you watched one of the videos, leave me some feedback. Let me know you guys have seen it. Um, it makes me feel kind of good knowing that people are watching it. I mean, yes, I see that it gets views, and of course there's my lovely troll. Um, makes me feel good knowing that people are watching it, enjoying it. I do put a lot of time and effort into it. You can ask my troll. Uh, but yeah, when you put all that time and effort into something, you kind of want to know that people are actually enjoying it and watching it. So, like I said, don't forget to hit the like button on the videos. Oh shit. Yeah, I think she went out to Edmonton today. She went to go collect her convertible. So I don't know how she's getting, what is she gonna do? Leave the other car out there, or is she having somebody drive the other one back? As far as I know, you can't drive two cars at once. So I don't know if she's just leaving the other car out there for now, or if she has somebody with her that's gonna bring the other one back. But that was the plan that I heard last. Was she was going out to go get the convertible. Um, she says it's running pretty good. She did have a transmission issue that me and the gang talked with her about yesterday. Hopefully what I suggested works for her and it starts acting right again. I don't know where everybody's is. We got you, we got Harvey, and we got Mr. Mach 1, who's apparently underneath of his Mustang at the moment, listening to the live. So I don't expect comments from them. Um, yeah, I don't know exactly what's on her trip. Well, you can, Jess, you can tell them yourself. You're in the Facebook group that they all get the things from. And I'll send a message, but I'm gonna say I will send a message, I guess. Mm, there, I sent a message. See how that goes. That's funny. Highway south of Bearhead. Again, I have no idea. Canada is not my area of expertise. I don't know what's on the way to where and what's in between what. I mean, that would be like me explaining to you places in Pennsylvania and things around here. I'm not familiar with that area. Oh, I think I still have freaking transmission fluid in my freaking scalp, even though I took a shower. By the way, anybody else hate engineers? Um, they do some stupid shit. I have to remove the oil filter for the engine to get out one bolt that they put in from the engine into the transmission. Uh, which is just so weird. You know, most other transmissions, they're all from the backside. They go from the transmission into the engine, and that's where they terminate. No, this one's got to be weird, and it's got a bolt on either side that goes from the engine block through into the transmission, and one of them has to be right behind the oil filter on the passenger side. And of course, as soon as I pulled the oil filter out, it slipped, like, and dropped on the freaking ground next to me, splashed me with freaking oil. Have I done a separate second rebuild? Yeah, I did it this morning. I checked on her yesterday, and then I checked on her this morning. We got a Mr. Chris.
Whoopity whoop.
Jess is very upset. Jess is very upset with all of you guys.
Upset with us? Why? Because we was late to the party?
Yeah, she's over here in the chat by herself. She goes, "Where's all my buddies at?"
No. In my defense, I was working. I had to scale out this wagon and get some fuel in it.
Oh, that must have been, you do so sell like half the mortgage to freaking put gas in that thing?
Yeah, over $200 for 37 gallons of reefer fuel. That was it.
Hey, Chris, got milk?
Yes.
Got milk?
Yeah. Yeah.
You look like one of
Ain't
those.
it though?
You look like one of those ads from the '90s.
Chocolate melted frosty doesn't work well to drink when the whole cup decides to upend itself.
Right. Yeah, Jess is currently working. She had a freaking shit show of a freaking time getting into work. So I guess I'll repeat the story of what happened all here. Chris, you know most of it. Last Thursday, right before we went away on vacation, I was on my way into work because for some reason they wouldn't let me take off work. And so I was on my way into work, and Bambi cut across the traffic on my on my left. So I had an oncoming car to my left, crossed in front of that car, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but when you have headlights coming at you, do you look down at the white lane off the white line off to the right, or whatever line is on your right?
Normally.
Yeah, you don't normally, because otherwise you get blinded by the headlights. Well, that's what happened. It dawned on me the first day going back to work after the accident. That's why I never saw the deer. The oncoming traffic at me that it cut in front of, and so I had glanced down at the white line to avoid the headlights, and by the time that car was just passing me and I was looking forward again, that's when I saw Bambi out of my freaking peripheral vision off of my freaking left. The split second before I got the airbag in my face. But yeah, so never got a chance to avoid the deer. It creamed the front of the Kia Soul. Did it look like it was repairable? Yes. The day before we sold it, I went up to go and thought we had 4 good tires on that car. Turns out we only really had 2 good tires on that car, and it would have been kind of silly to just swap the 2 of them, because it's in the same boat as the gray car. The gray car's got 2 really good tires and 2 not so good tires. But I didn't have the ability to swap the tires off the rims, so that way I'd have 4 good tires on the same set of rims. But so there was really no point in swapping the tires. But when I went and took a closer look at the damage that was done to it, it was just a brace piece in front of the strut tower that bent. Everything above the crash bar, which is behind the bumper, everything above that was taken out, but nothing from the crash bar back. So like the crash bar was where it was supposed to be, where it connects into the frame was where it was supposed to be. All of that stuff was good. It was all of the superficial structure above that collapsed. So the top of the radiator support, that brace piece that goes up to the headlight, obviously the fender, the hood, the front bumper, all that stuff was taken out. It's fixable to somebody.
And the airbag.
Yeah, and the airbag. It's fixable to somebody that wants to freaking fix it. Unfortunately,
the headache is once an air glide deploys, no matter how minor the rest of the damage is, they usually write the car off.
Well, that's if it had if it was still covered under insurance. It only had liability, so the insurance could care less. That's why we were able to sell the car. Because the insurance never actually totaled it.
Aha. That helped them.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, you can get a new airbag for those. I can send the airbag module out to get replaced. Actually, not replaced, but reset. I don't know if it locked the driver's side seatbelt at all. I never checked. But even if that was locked up, you can get those freed up by sending them out. I mean, geez, you watch enough YouTube, you know that those people can get that shit done. Yeah, Kat came and went. I think she's having connection issues. But yeah, parts are the issue. When we got that front bumper, which we just put on a couple months ago, that was $600 and a trip up to Connecticut to go get that because we couldn't find it local.
Ah, there we go. Okay, why is this not working here?
It seems to be working on our end. We can see you just fine.
Why am I not getting sound? What the hell?
Do what?
They're working.
Ah, sorry, I can't hear you guys for some reason. This is weird.
Maybe it's because the top is down. Our voices are all just blowing out in the wind.
I don't know, maybe try that.
There's a key hashtag. Get the word out quick. Everybody log into Sean's show. Cat's topless.
Topless cat featuring topless cat.
Yep. I mean, she did make the comment here. On one of her comments and her stuff doing so well because, you know, she's a chick doing a channel. Someone made the comment about the girl on the channel. That's what made it popular. Like, whatever. If it works, run with it, right?
We got me in the studio, and both my guests are driving.
And my configuration is going to be bent because I got a new logbook system in the truck the other day, and it's got my whole dash all messed up, and I haven't figured out how to rearrange it to make it work right yet.
Well, it looks okay.
Need to get more review out the window. Hey, we can make shadow puppets till it gets dark, right?
Cat put her top up. Can she hear us now?
Sorry, viewers. You had your chance. They said cat topless. Y'all missed it.
You're supposed to be enabling good behavior.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
Yes.
Okay, that's so weird because, like, yeah, for some reason, I don't have my Bluetooth functional, so the sound is coming through this instead of through my stereo, which is annoying.
I can't help that.
Your Bluetooth isn't shut down in your phone, is it?
I don't think it's anything with the phone, because, like, it hooked up to my Bluetooth just fine, like, look.
You may have to connect it to the stereo again.
Go up too, so apologies for that.
Jess was all worried that none of you guys were going to show up.
But I mean, like so far, like I just left his place to be honest with the car, so it seems okay right now. Like temperature seems a little high, but this gauge always right high, so
yeah.
You know, oil pressure's fine and everything, so we'll see. It does now charge because what it was, the charging issue, was actually one of the wires was grounding for some reason. So one of the power wires. So cut that out and ran it properly, and hey, look at that, it charges. So
how's the shifting? Did you guys fix the vacuum?
Actually, that didn't change a damn thing. So so it's something with the transmission. I don't know what that is exactly, but I just had to baby it a little bit. That's all. Like, and if I just have to let it manually shift, and like when it goes to the 2-3 shift, if I pin it, I have to let off the gas and it will shift.
Yeah, I don't know. It's either that or it's still that
Blame it on the engine. New engine makes more torque. It changed the characteristics of the transmission.
The transmission?
Yeah, but nothing has changed. That's the weird part. Nothing has changed.
Well, no, there's a whole different engine in it. That's changed.
Yes, but it's a healthy motor, one. You know, it actually sounds proper.
It's too healthy for the transmission.
Yeah.
Jesse says he bets the car feels pretty quick.
She's got a Fomoco engine now instead of a pintle pusher.
Yeah, I mean that car, yeah, like that old engine was freaking. It was just hurt very bad. Although something interesting, is in my other car. Looking at the rear end, I always thought I had a 7.5. Turns out I don't. I don't have an 8.8 rear end. I think I have a 6 3/4 rear end, which is kind of a rare rear end, actually. But it's fine, because I have a rear end to put in it. It's just kind of weird that it has that.
Is that the one you just got, or the one that was already in the car?
Was that right?
Was that the one you just got, or the one that was already in the car?
Already in the car.
Okay.
So, like this thing still only had 7.5, but I do have an 8.8 to throw in it, so, yeah.
No neutral dropping the car.
Oh, I should probably slow down a little. There we go.
Yeah, before the blue and reds decide to light up your...
Their appearance. BG is in the house.
I know, right? We all need to pitch in and help Figgy get a computer set up somewhere where he can start joining us again.
Well, why don't they just use his phone or something?
Because of the place that he's at, he doesn't have a place where he can be. His areas he can be are too chaotic to join live.
Fair.
He's got to build a room under the stairs.
Yeah, he's got to build a Harry Potter closet.
Yeah, the hideout shelter.
He's got to go back to hiding in the closet like he was at the other place.
Which when you think about, could be real interesting because it could freak all the other people that are having a party on Saturday night because they go to use the restroom and the stairs are talking to them from multiple directions.
That feels so much better. Oh my god.
What's up, Kat?
Yeah, I am just so freaking happy to have this car functional again.
Well, yeah.
Like, to be honest, because this is my first drive of the car since we swapped the motor. It's had a test drive. Like, he took it on a quite vigorous test drive, which reminds me, I do have to get gas in this thing.
Time to sign your life away.
Yeah, they don't push well.
No, yeah, like, it goes well, it runs fantastic. Like, before, because even when it left before, it wasn't quite right.
Anybody that's ever ended up in that with E and they think their gas tank's empty, it doesn't stand for empty. It stands for effort because you sweat a lot of it trying to move it to the nearest place to get it out of the road or into the gas station to refill it.
Jess says apparently her milkshake does bring all them boys to the yard. Because right after I sent that text to the live stream chat, you guys all popped in, including Pilot and Big E. And Jesse even showed up, I think, right after that.
Pilot, what's the update on the missus? Is everything okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I forgot to touch base with him again.
Well,
I was keeping in touch with him. They had to do a bunch of tests, I know.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I was on here, so.
Yeah.
Lots happened to me in the last 2 weeks as well. Just nothing that serious. Well, I guess
it's been crazy.
I guess almost getting face punted by a deer was kind of serious, but.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it just sucks because it's like, the vehicle's just gone. It's just, there's no compensation. There's no.
You'll have to text me an update, Pilot, on what's going on so I can read it later on. Continued prayers for her recovery.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And apologies because I can't see the chat. Obviously, I'm just on my phone. So
I will try to commentate the chat. It is
Okay.
moving.
Oh.
It's moving frequently tonight.
Sean, look at this.
What?
Jesse, quick. Gamble your ass off. Cat can't keep up because she's driving. You might get ahead of her.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually. I don't think he's actually keeping up because I don't see him gambling. Which is...
If he gets ahead of me, he gets ahead of me. But I will get back.
You know,
I was trying to make him feel good.
You know, if he donates, he'd really catch up. That's just. You know.
This guy just reverses and doesn't even look that I'm fucking here. Like, asshole. Hi, buddy.
That's how you lose a Mustang. That's how you lose a Mustang.
All right, I'm going to mute my mic.
Oh, and she's muted. Well, apparently he is on cooldown. Wait, how's he on cooldown? I didn't see him gamble. He must have gambled somewhere.
Someone's been humping the hell out of it.
Out of the what?
The gamble.
Oh. Jesse says he's too cheap to donate. hey, man! I have been pushing the credit to be able to freaking afford the videos that I am putting out currently. I was just saying earlier before you guys popped in, I just ordered. I think there's a famous line from Demolition Ranch about don't tell Mayor, except for my Mayor is in the chat right now. Mayor is Demolition Matt's, better half. So he's always telling his subscribers, don't tell Mayor when he does something stupid. But no, I have a wiring harness coming. I have valve covers coming. I have power steering and a alternator coming. Chris, you know why I got to replace the power steering pump, right? Do you remember
I
when
forgot
we drove
you
it?
said something about it.
You don't remember it? It's the loudest thing on the car when it decides when you.
All right.
It squeals.
Yeah.
Every time you turn the wheel, it just squeals and it sounds horrible. I'm hoping it's the power steering pump. Otherwise, I bought a power steering pump for no reason.
Always good for backup.
Yes.
Too, you gotta try some of that Lucas power steering pump conditioner stuff they got.
It's not made by Amazon. I saw Cat got the AMSOIL link. Yeah, we could use money to get the second daily up and running, which, yeah. That's the transmission on the truck is not, like I said, that was a bitch, man. That thing weighs a freaking ton. And, of course, it had to slide off the jack when it was coming down.
Ooh, what happened to the Bronco?
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, Jesse Bronco broke down.
I'm going to mute Cat here for a hot minute. There we go. She's still getting food, it looks like. Had to flat tow at home? Oh, I've had to flat tow the Nova before.
Hey, now,
wait.
Isn't it requisite if somebody's ordering in the chat online like that?
They have to order food for everybody?
Yeah, exactly. Dinner for all.
See, we can't hear you, Cat, because I have you muted.
I said you have to be far away for that.
Just send it through. Just Grubhub it.
That's gonna be quite cold by the time it gets to you.
No, you just Grubhub it for where each of us is living, and the closest whatever to where we're living, and you just buy us a burger and fries.
Yeah. I'll pass on that. Thanks.
Jess wants nuggies.
Well. Thank you. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And also, fun fact, there is,
you were at a wedding.
There's actually a buddy in his 82 Mustang.
What?
I was just at his house. That thing is freaking sweet. I've driven that thing, and it's such a ball.
Well, where is it?
I can't flip the camera.
You could always just put it behind you.
Yeah, well,
The car.
he just went to the drive, so...
Oh, okay. Cat should drive by... Lovely Bunch of Coconut says Cat should drive by the tank in her town.
The tank?
You have a tank in your town?
There's a tank in Olds, not in Sundry.
We have tanks all over the place up here.
I mean, depending on where you are up here, there is too. Like, it just, Sundry doesn't have one, Olds does, though. Yeah. It's a Sherman.
Yeah, exactly. Most of ours are Shermans up here.
Yeah, and it's actually an E2 or E8 Sherman. It's not like your regular M4A1 that you find everywhere.
Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know what the Big E is the one that would know.
Well, basically, okay, if you look at a Sherman, the easy way to tell whether it's an M4A1 or either an E2 or an E8, look at the front end of it. If it's rounded, it's the A1, M4A1. If it's a little more squared off, it is the E2 or the EZ8.
Big E says the one that's in your town is a jumbo.
Yeah, it is a jumbo, but I'm not sure if it's an E2 jumbo or an E8 jumbo. There was two different designations for the jumbo. So, and basically, they just have better armor. That's all it was compared to the regular M4A1.
Yeah. I wonder where Chris went. Probably hit a bad spot. There is no E8 jumbo.
Yes, there is.
Uh-oh, we're gonna have a tank or.
I promise you that there is an EZ8 jumbo and an EZ2, aka E8 E2. I think it's M4A3 E2 and M4A3 E8, I believe.
Yeah, it says nom nom.
Yeah, it's.
What are we having today? After you're done chewing. Oh, we gotta play What's in the Cup before What's in the Cup is no longer in the cup. Let's see.
Well, we can play What's in the Cup, and I can use food as well.
You didn't get a drink? How do you get food and not a drink?
I didn't get a drink, but I was going to tell you, I don't have cup holders in this car, but with Fox bodies have built-in cup holders. Because, hang on. If you look...
I can't look, I see a steering wheel.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, I do that with my Nova all the time.
If you haven't got a console, you can do this.
Because Trans Ams don't come with cup holders, and neither do Novas.
Yeah, Fox bodies don't either. Fun fact.
And the cup holders...
No, and trying to stick that console lid up in the air in order to hold your cup in it, it's an absolute elbow masher.
Yeah, that's
every time you reach for the cup.
Yeah, no, that's a mistake.
I don't know why they call it a funny bone. It ain't funny when you hit it.
Right. What was I gonna say? The cup
Trans Ams have no cup holders.
Well, that and Rams, right? The cup holders in the Ram are basically fucking useless because you hit a good bump and that whole freaking thing is like barely attached.
Have a good night, Harvey.
See you later, Harvey. But yeah, if you trust the cup holder in the Dodge Rams, then you must have a very close relationship to God.
See, actually, the cup holders in my dad's Ram are fine. Like, they never spilled, ever.
Okay, you know how those work, where you can flip them up and make them so they're part of the dash, right? That little black thing that goes up and connects to the backside of the dash likes to pop off.
I guess Canadian models had proper freaking cup holders in them, not that.
Yeah, so
like by the shifter, they actually had stuff on the floor.
Oh no! This is attached to the dash. It flips down out of the dash, and it has spots for two cup holders. But there's a little black piece that connects it to the dash, and that likes to pop off the dash, and then your cup holder door just decides to drop. And
speaking of interesting, we'll have to ask Kat the question.
What?
Who paid the refs off last night?
There we go. And this is my buddy in his.
Hey, there's a Mustang. You got to let him know he's on live.
Yeah. By the way, you're live at the moment, so.
Welcome to the internet world.
Yeah, like, and this is because the car here, that is a 82 GT, and it's got Capri taillights in it and stuff like that. It's got a built 306 with a 2.5 in it. Love it.
He didn't stomp on it. I mean, come on. That'd be worth a room, ain't it?
I mean, it probably is worth a room, but he didn't do that yet. Trust me, because he'll probably leave at a similar time that I do. So.
He's got the 300 i6 started. One of the rockers has a loose nut and backed off, but all is well. Had to put the head back. Had to pull the head back off because of freeze plug leak. This is Jesse, by the way, with the Ford. He put a new one in and we'll start it when he gets some new rocker nuts. Big E said that the M4A3E2 is the jumbo. The M4A3E8 is the same armor and a regular Sherman, but with better suspension. So the A4A3E8 is a regular Sherman with the jumbo armor on it and a better suspension.
Yeah.
Which is not a jumbo, which is what Big E said. Big E said an E8 is not a jumbo.
They look like the same sort of thing, but perhaps they're not. Like, to be honest, I know a little bit about them.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge connoisseur of Sherman tanks.
Big E is. That is Big E's thing is tanks.
Yeah, fancy seeing you here. It's like you knew I was going to be here. Every time I come up here, I get reviews. That's how we knew I was going to be here.
By the way, I forgot to put in the thingy. There we go. Well, shall we start with Chris? What's in the cup?
Flavored water and water.
What kind of flavored water?
We have no sugar lemonade flavor and no sugar fruit punch. And then regular water.
Cats, what's in the cup?
Well, even though it says Pepsi and stuff like that on it, it's actually root beer. So, you know.
Ooh, my choice.
Yeah, it's only mug root beer though.
Ew, no, you gotta use Barks.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the one downside to Harvey's. They don't have Barks.
And W.
Big E says he had a cold Mountain Dew, no idea where it went. Okay, so here's your guys' 2,000. No, let's do 20,000 point question. What am I drinking? Did you get to see?
Yeah, I'm not even attempting to guess.
Huh?
I'm not even attempting to guess because
it's like Guinness.
Yeah, well, see, last time the problem is, last time we did this, I got really overworked and I fainted. If you remember that.
Yeah, we're not doing that again, Kat. You're driving.
Exactly. That's why I'm not participating in this one.
You guys are good. It is a Guinness. Of course, it's my birthday drink because I wasn't home to drink it. It is actually a Guinness Drought. So 20,000 points to both of you.
Wow. And yet 20,000 points is almost nothing.
I know. Shut up. Where is there? It is.
Big E's under the stair room ghost stole his Mountain Dew. The voices are haunting.
By the way, I also have a Irish cream stout sitting here next to drink.
Yeah, I keep doing that.
Alright, so Miss Formie.
Well, then you look in about 3.5 hours, we're able to knock some of that back when we take a break.
Yeah. Well, see, and the one thing is actually, because the guy beside me is the one that helped me with the motor swap and all that stuff on this car. So, you know. And, like, the car he's driving, actually, there will be a review at some point on that car on my channel. So.
That's good.
Yeah, well, that's a super fun car, because like I said, it's got a built 302 that's punched out to a 306, which I think that's just 30 over bore, that makes it 306, and then it's got a T5 manual in it with like 410s, I think it is, that thing, and just the thing rips. It's so much fun.
Red light to red light, no good for the highway.
Oh no, it's and the one thing is, because he has not calibrated his speedometer, it's way up in the wrong direction though.
That's the way my Nova. That's the way my Nova is.
Well, mine is the wrong way in the direction that you want to say that you're going faster than it shows. His is the other way.
Yeah, that's the way I have. All right, so the stock size tire for my Nova is a 26 inch tall. I have 30-inch tall tires on the back of that car. I also have a different rear end in it with different rear gears than what came in at factory. So it's all wrong. So yeah, I mean, I have to use a GPS speedometer, like a one on my phone, to be able to tell how fast I'm going, because you can't go by the speedometer at all. I would get pulled over all the time.
Yeah, well, like my because my other car with the 28 tall tires on it right now, because it actually reads like, if you say you're going 80 kilometers, or I think it's 85 kilometers an hour is actually 100, and then 110, which is the typical speed limit around, which 110 is around your 70 mile an hour ish.
Nice.
Somewhere around there.
Gotta see like, I'm going 100 miles an hour. Oh wait, no.
No, kilometers. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, my speedometer goes to 180, yo.
So does the one in the TA. But it's actually miles per hour.
Yeah, mine, because if I do...
Ow.
Does it work? Yes, it does.
I just got a leg cramp.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And now, the funny thing is, with these, though, Fox body guys will swear up and down they never made a Fox body with a 6-digit odometer. Yeah, not in the States.
Well, yeah, they kind of have to, because you guys are going a lot further. Well, your numbers will climb a lot higher, even though it's not actually further.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, we roll over far more often than you guys do.
Together.
So, yeah, and that's the one thing, though. But, I mean, you could have still did that in the States, because it would have been better. Because how many cars roll over and you have no idea how much mileage they have of the old cars? Like, in miles. You don't. Because there's no indication for it to tell you that.
Right.
The other headache is they had a federal restriction in where they weren't allowed to put a speedometer in a car that read over 85 mile an hour.
Yeah, you had the 180, the 120. If you were lucky, if you were old enough, you got the 121. But I've even had the Nova faster than that, though.
Well, this is technically 150 mile an hour speedometer. They put like no setting. That's depressing.
Jesse says that he had videos up on Discord that the knock was from the exhaust valve not opening. It does not sound familiar, Chris. I had the same issue on Jean Grey when I first got it. Big E says the 2021 TRX goes up to 140 miles per hour on the speedo, which honestly that sounds low for that truck.
Well, here's the thing. That truck only goes like 150 mile an hour anyways. Because gotta remember, it's an off-road truck. It's not a street truck.
Yeah, I know.
Even though, yes, it drives on the street, but a TRX. All right, I kind of need the...
Oh, wait. I guess it means Trax. TRAX.
Oh, yeah, no. The TRX Ram, like, I think it's only like 155 or something like that.
No, he's talking about the Chevy Trax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think we're talking about like the TRX with the Hellcat in it.
That's what I thought. Apparently so did Jesse.
Yeah.
It helps if I'm on camera.
That helps, because like I'm going down the highway and stuff like that. Not right now, obviously, but like I will be. But the only problem is, because my Bluetooth doesn't work, I might not be able to do this on the highway.
Well, we'll see. Depends on if you're talking.
Like, I don't know why it's not working with this. It's so weird.
Well, that's what Biggie says. I've never driven a TRX.
Because let's see, can I?
I have sitting. Is it here? No, that's the drone thing. Where is it? Nope, that's not that. I have sitting here somewhere. I get to go drive an Audi R8 down at Maple Grove.
That's fun.
Oh yeah, it's one of those drive a supercar freaking thingies. Luca's godparents got it for me for my birthday. So I don't know if it'll be a YouTube video of it or not, or whatnot, but I kind of anxious to go do it. I mean, that's a lot of car.
Piece of shit.
But yeah, it's
No.
I mean, basically a freaking Lamborghini.
They're fun.
I'd rather drive. I mean, I like Lamborghinis, but I mean that's as close to as Lamborghini as I'm ever gonna get. At least as far as I believe. Yeah, I just don't. It's a matter of whether or not I can actually film it or not, and it's not like I have a crap ton of GoPros or anything that would be easier to put on the car. Well, I don't even know if they'll let me put anything on the car.
Unlikely not.
I mean, I'm not a big YouTuber, so yeah, it is literally a Lamborghini. The Lamborghini with a fat skin on it.
Yeah, I mean, an Audi R8. If it's the V10 one, it's a Lamborghini. If it's the V8 one, it's not as much. Even though the V10 in the Lamborghini is an Audi engine, not a Lamborghini engine. So technically speaking, the Lamborghini is a Audi with a different skin on it. Not the other way around. What year of Audi R8, anyways?
Don't know. I don't know where I put the papers here somewhere.
It's a supercar. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's better than anything
Oh,
I've ever driven.
they got both.
Yeah, it's better than anything I've ever driven. So should be fun.
Here you go. Somebody please wreck one so that I can put the drivetrain in one of something I want, like my Nova.
I don't want a Lamborghini engine in my Nova though. Originally, I
Now, well, here's the thing. If you want the cheaper version of that engine, go find one from, I think it's an Audi A8. They did put those the 5.2 V10s in them. Instead of paying like 50 grand for the engine, you only pay like 10 grand on the record. It's a little cheaper.
Biggie says the newer R8 is built off of the same chassis as the Huracan. He believes.
Yeah, they are. But if I remember correctly, the Huracan and the Gallardo before it were built off of the Audi instead of the Audi being built off of the Lamborghini. Because I know it's an Audi engine, and I believe it's the drivetrain is, and the electronics are too.
Biggie says he'd rather have the 4.2 V8.
It's a better engine, to be honest. Like the V10 makes more power and stuff like that, but from a reliability standpoint, the V8's better.
It's a supercar. They never get driven long enough to freaking worry about reliability to begin with.
It's an Audi, it should be. That's the thing. Audis back in the day were stupid reliable because they were Volkswagens. You know, like look at the old school Audi GTs back in the day. That's just a Scirocco with a cooler skin on it.
Yeah, I'm a Viper fanboy, so. I
love me a Viper too. Don't get me wrong.
I would die for a Viper.
I would love a Viper because the one thing is like the Viper. The only thing is just like you have to be a driver to drive a Viper, because otherwise,
well,
have fun.
The newer ones have a lot of freaking crap that the freaking government mandated that they put in them, but the older ones, yeah, no, it was, you know, you had to have the balls the size of a fucking horse to freaking, you know, want a daily one of those around.
But even the ACRs, the one thing is when you put them in like their track modes, it turned everything off.
Yeah. Hey Jesse, I would die a happy man. He says you could die from a Viper also.
Yeah. Well, one thing is actually the original Vipers, like the first gen Vipers. If you put modern tires on it, they're a way better car. They're not near as scary. It's those old tires that are freaking scary. Because a lot of those still have the original tires on them, and also, tire technology back in the '90s was nowhere near as good as it is today.
Well, they didn't have a car like the Viper back in the '90s. When that freaking car came out, there was nothing like it.
Huh.
That thing was a freaking monster when it came out, even with only 450 horsepower. You know?
Oh yeah, they were a monster that way. Like, yeah, because when the first ones first came out, it was 400 horsepower, and I think when the GTS came out, they jumped to 450.
Yeah, but they didn't weigh anything. They were lighter than a freaking Corvette.
Yeah. Well, pure aluminum, and yeah, like, because I think a Viper only tips the scale at like 3,300 pounds or something, like the original ones. Just like, holy crap. The Corvette at the time was, I think, 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, they did get fat, but, you know, with all the electronics and bullshit that went in them. But I think the third gen that I like? It's the second or it's not it's before they went to the stupid, like, super sleek looking one.
Oh yeah, so that is the third gen SRT, because the thing is, the generations go RT10, GTS, SRT10, and then they, for whatever reason, went back to the GTS name for the last generation. So
no,
that doesn't compete with me, but
I like the 98. I think it's the GTS.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the double bump on the roof for the helmets. Yeah.
And I never liked any of the convertible versions.
Never. Yeah, I do. Like, the original Roadsters are like my favorite. I want one.
Nope, cannot stand them. I like the 98, and then I like the 2014. 2008 one is nice too, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, never liked the convertibles. I don't like the way they look. They look funky. Don't like them.
Yeah, sir. I should lock my door.
Of course, I like the one with the big wings, so the GTSR, or the Track Attack one, the Track Attack or whatever one from 2016. Yeah, the ACR and the GT500. Those are two completely different animals. Oh, we made it to 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's just us two?
No, Chris is here.
Oh, I don't see. Oh, okay, sorry. I couldn't see his name because of what's in the cup.
Oh, yeah, because the what's in the cup thing is still up. So we can take
I'm doing shadow puppets. Don't mind me.
But, I mean, I could barely see it because, like, I have glare on my screen and everything with a bunch of crap on my screen. Like, I can't see it, so.
Yeah. We have 8 people in here. Let's see some like buttons, man.
Well, one of those isn't me because I'm on my phone.
That's fine. There is 8 people that it's saying it's concurrent viewers. Let's see some like buttons.
See, now, and the one thing is, I gotta find gas around here that's cheaper because it's so god-awful expensive no matter where you go.
I use Google.
But
Google will tell me the gas prices around where I'm at.
I mean, that'd be dope.
Oh, did Justin?
Okay.
There you go, Sean.
Oh, you'll make sure because I want a little bit.
First live side-by-side Mustang burnout contest.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not keeping up to that car, but
seems fair and feasible, doesn't it?
Wait, Jess has to go. She has to stay till 10 p.m. instead of going home and napping. Oh, I guess she's got to go in for the night so she can get up in the morning.
Well, she shouldn't have to.
No, she's at work. So normally what happens is she'll stay on up late at night on Saturday with us because she went home in the morning and nap. Big E has won 140,000 points from gambling tonight already. Speaking of, let's see where the points are at. It hasn't moved him up very much. Biggie, I mean, Chris, how are you gambling?
Huh?
How are you gambling?
Wireless keyboard.
Oh.
I got a little keyboard I can strap to my leg and be able to type on the keyboard and connect to the tablet Bluetooth.
Hey, your offspring's here.
Yeah, Mr. Hibachi's back.
Yeah, offspring, your offspring is here and he's already gambling. He's been in the chat like 10 seconds. Oh, there it goes. Yep, there's
Yeah,
no
no,
cops, there's no cops following you yet. Though your frame rate is dropping incredibly.
His car is not that fast, and he just freaking walked away from me when I was pinned.
What, his walked away from you?
And there we go.
All right, you get that baby home safe, okay? Cat.
What was that, sorry? It's kind of hard to hear you.
Right, I just told you to get that sucker home safe. Miss Formie says she's been losing, so Big E could win.
Kind of love that sound.
Yeah, I'm kind of jelly. I'm stuck.
Any gas mileage when you have a good sounding V8 is out the window. Because every time you just want to open it up just to hear it.
I can't wait. I have definite plans in my future to get electric cutouts for the TA and just be able to open dump the engine at the push of a button. They make a set of cutouts for my exhaust system that are literally just a direct bolt through. And I can't. That's way in the future, but that'd be freaking nice.
See, yeah. The one thing is, I actually sold a set of cutouts, and I should have just kept them. Although they were 3 inches, so a little too big for my applications. But
well, all of the pipes exhaust cutouts are 3 inches, and then you just you use a reducer to bring them back down to 2.5.
That's fair. Yeah, see, you can see, because the one thing is, that's a Mustang with Capri taillights in them, and just how good they look.
Well, we can't see it till you get about there. And I'm on a pretty big screen, and it's hard for me to see it until you got, like, what, 40 feet from it? Jesse says that his i6 sounds decent, at least without the knock, and that he plans on putting stacks on that truck. You just break the tires loose there, Kat.
Just a little.
You're gonna get me Oh wait, we're not on TikTok.
Exactly. We're good.
Yeah. Violent abusive behavior.
Fucking TikTok. I can't believe
that shit. If I throw this thing in non-overdrive, it will spin the tire like that.
Well, it's bullshit because I got a community guidelines warning saying that I could get my freaking whatever suspended in bullshit over what? Some pictures of a wrecked car and a dead deer. Jesse says you're V8 happy.
Yeah, well, so I can actually hear you guys better.
So, Chris. Trans Am next to that Mustang. I think I'd be up there with that Mustang that was in front of her.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I've heard that thing do it, and geez, I just goose the throttle in a TA and it breaks both tires loose. I don't even have to get on.
I'm pretty sure mine would be too, but longevity-wise, yeah, they got me by the balls.
Yours is gonna blow itself up.
Yeah.
It'll be a little scatterbrained. You do that a couple times.
Well,
I can't do. I don't know whether I'm close or not close to having the TA running. I mean, obviously not right this second, but I've already got everything torn apart except for pulling the harness out of the car. But really, I mean, the harness, the starter, alternator, and putting the distributor and EFI unit on that car, and I can fire it up.
You're a lot closer than you were.
Oh yeah. I gotta wait for parts. Obviously I can't do anything until the harness gets here.
Yeah, I had to meet up with a buddy of mine over here in Texas tonight. He was in California last week, and I had a guy that came in my one group, put in a post to be approved. He was selling a set of original door panels from a 10th anniversary Trans Am. I was like, shit, sorry, dude, can't approve that. He said, why? Because I want to buy them. How much? We'll end up making a deal. My buddy picked them up for me. So I get to meet up with him to pick those up later tonight or first thing in the morning before he takes off.
Cool. Oh, there's a Hellcat Challenger over there.
Go challenge him.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
He doesn't want to get ass spanked.
Yeah, that's just a little, just a wee bit faster than me.
It's for the sake of the channel. Come on.
Jesse sent this picture with the stacks edited in place, how he wants them to look on his
That's neat.
Those look good.
Yeah, I think so. I like the patina on that truck. It's nice.
Workaholic there.
He's got to put a little of that shine juice on it from Vice Grip Garage.
See now, if I wasn't completely in like a public intersection or whatever else, I'd probably do a burnout here, but I'm not going to. Ooh, that's nice.
Jesse just.
We have to go find somewhere secluded then.
Jesse just won 20,000 Nova cash. Brad also won 20,000 Nova cash. I don't, Chris. I think you're going to be on the stream boss for a while. I don't think anybody wants to kick you off.
I don't know why.
Well, you do have like 74,000 points, which is twice the amount of points. That's twice the amount of points as the stream boss that they weren't kicking off before. So you might be there a while.
Are you gonna stay in your lane there, frickin' Keith? What are you doing?
He's driving a Mustang. They can't stay in their lanes.
Oh, he was trying to tell me that he was gonna turn here. Okay. Because I'm following him to get cheaper gas because he's got a Costco card. I know.
Miss Formey says that she has lost their winnings.
Rip. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that. There's Costco right there. I'll say the fun part is figuring out how to get where the fuck I am.
You drive? That's how you get there? You drive?
Yeah, smart ass.
You was expecting something different?
Maybe.
This one's a little tight.
Ah, okay, there it is over there. Perfect.
I need to put these hats on a freaking stretcher.
I don't have to do that. Huh? It's 8.
Wonder, do they have people to fill their gas for them like they do in Jersey?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna try something new. Southern Tier Irish Cream Stout.
I make some good stuff.
Don't know. I haven't had any of it yet.
Me and Brad had one. I don't know if it was from Southern Tier or somewhere else. We had one that was just.
Ooh, it is very.
It was
heady.
rough.
It is very heady.
Yeah, I can't remember if he remembers what it was or not.
I don't know. It's kind of got funky.
It was back in the winter when I was up there, but it was an off-ball thing they had there in the case. And oh hell, let's try that. And then it was. Whew.
Well, that's why I picked it. Because it was something different, and it wasn't. I mean, like, the thing is I go to those pick-a-six, and you guys can't freaking see me because my hat's in the freaking way. All right, well, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna put that there. But it was one of those pick your own six or whatever, and they always have so many freaking IPAs, and I cannot stand IPA. And so, like, it's very rare that they have something different or weird that I don't, that isn't commonplace. That
kind of like drinking diluted, dirty dishwater.
Something that's just freaking horrible.
Yeah, IPA ain't nothing you can brag about.
I don't know. The smell coming off of this, and as I stick my nose in it, I don't know, it's got a funky smell. There's only one way to find out if it's any good.
Down the hatch.
It's different. I was expecting it to be kind of heavy, like the Guinness. It's not. It's almost got a light flavor to it.
Yeah, Guinness can get heavy enough that it's almost like chewing it, depending what it is.
Oh, that's why I like about Guinness.
Mm-hmm.
Why I like lagers. I mean, I like a beer that has some like substance to it.
Yeah.
But this is, I don't know. It's dark. I mean, it's pretty dark. But like you would expect it
Looks
to be
good.
like, you would expect it to be like a Black and Tan or a Guinness or you know what I mean? But it's different. It doesn't have a heavy taste to it. I mean, it's got the bitterness of a dark beer, but at the same time, it's also kind of got a light flavor to it. I guess that's part of the cream part. But I don't know. It's not bad.
Definitely not the worst you've ever had.
No, definitely not. Just different.
Like I said, them bottles we got, I don't remember if Brad remembers what it was called or not. I mean, and him and my two, and his older brother, we all took one sip out of the bottle and we just give it back to the waitress. That's just nasty. Bitter. That was just, ugh.
Jeez, Miss Formie cannot catch a break. So you guys all
What's she do now?
You guys all joined that freaking treasure hunt, right? She has not won shit this whole night. And she also only you and Brad came out of that freaking treasure hunt. Miss Formie's, I think, the only one that died. Big E just won another 40,000. Yeah, jeez.
Oh, she won on the iGamble earlier on the slot thing.
Did she?
I thought she did.
Brad says whatever you guys were drinking before was horrible.
Yeah, it was. It was bottled. It was cold, but phew,
This one's not even cold really anymore because it's been an hour. It's been sitting out like an hour and a half now.
it was light colored. It wasn't an IPA, but it was a light colored beer. But man, very bitter.
I don't drink.
I mean, it's just, yeah, it was nasty. I don't remember what the hell it was called.
It
was some off the wall thing.
Yeah, very rarely will I drink a light colored beer.
Unless this thing got no real flavor.
Obviously, a cider is light colored, but like I think a Heineken is probably one of the only things that I drink that is a light color. And it's just because I like Heineken. I don't know why. It's one of the earlier beers that I was drinking. I mean, granted, my first beer was a Guinness. I used to always be able to get MGD from my stepfather, but I at this point I can't even stand MGD because of him. So, I was saying the other day about people, how people have that, what's that alcohol you'll never touch again bullshit that people do. And they're like, oh, it's because I drank too much of it and whatever. Come on, that's a freaking cop-out excuse. But if there's one thing that I won't drink, it's like Miller High Life or MGD, and it's not because of something that I drank. It's because I had an alcoholic stepfather, and it's what he drank, and I can't even stand the smell of it anymore. Because it's connected to those memories. So, Biggie finally lost one. I don't know how it determines whether what you roll is whether you win or lose. Unless there is a specific numbers that are winning and losing.
Yeah, it's hard to, because everybody gambles all usually. That would be neat if it.
Well, it does.
When you do that, it does the I gamble all. If it would actually show like a rolling counter, like a slot machine in the thing, so you can actually see it working.
Well, yeah, I don't know what roll. Is it every time you roll a 1, it's a loss, or is like what's the number you're going against? I know, obviously, you roll 100. I think you get double what you put into it. And there's some numbers that are more than normal. Miss Forming goes, let me
gamble. Keeps that's the way he is. He's gonna have to go buy a lottery ticket.
But anyway, I wanna chit chat about freaking. Let's go to since we lost Kat. I want to go to current projects because I do want to chit chat about the TA and stuff and what's going on. What was that, Chris?
It's that stupid sensor that when you're close to the line, whether it's the center line or the line on the edge of the road.
Yeah.
And it puts it's a lane departure warning is what they call it. It's part of the computerized gizmo radar garbage.
It sounds different than the one you had before.
Yeah, well, it's louder. I mean, I got a new system up there when I had to replace the windshield, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's all built into the windshield. Now I got a new windshield, so it's all different up there than they just plug the shit in.
All right. Oh.
I still hate it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you got a button you can shut it, but like every 3 to 5 minutes, you got to hit the button to shut it off, so it doesn't do it. So whatever you're listening to on the radio, whenever it does it, it interrupts the radio, and depending which side you're closer to, it blows that side of the truck speakers up to the stereo.
Yeah.
At full stereo volume. So it's not you can even control the volume of it. If you can turn it down or half mute it might not be bad, but it's full stereo volume on whichever side you're in. So,
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So you can't just turn the fucking volume down on a radio so you don't hear it. But Pilot says his seat vibrates when he gets close to something. That's what she said.
Could you imagine getting pulled over Why are you driving off the edge of the road, sir? Ma'am, what's going on? It's my husband's car, and he's got the most amazing seat in here. And you call like, honey, I need picked up and bail. Your car got impounded. Why? I was vibrating the seat down the side of the road, and the officer took offense. They think I got a DUI.
Driving under the influence of vibrations?
Oh, you meant it'd be a VWI. Or how would you put that? A VWD. Vibrating while driving. Oh, speaking of DUI. God, I wish I knew already. Did anybody catch the news article this past week in Ohio? Late at night, a county sheriff over near Orwell, Ohio, got broadsided by an Amish buggy, and the guy was passed out with Bud Light cans all over the floor. The horse was running by himself, and he was trying to stop it because very erratic drivers, what came in as a 911 call, when they got there, it was an Amish buggy going down. The horse was basically dragging itself from side to side in the road. They tried to stop it, and one guy did a roadblock, and the horse shied the car, and the buggy run into the side of the car.
Oh, that's funny.
And they arrested him for, you know, DWI, because it's actually funny, because in Pennsylvania there's an actual driver's manual that they have to get and get a license to be able to run the buggy down the side of the road. They take a driver's test like we do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I only knew that because we went into one of the quote shops and Amish shops down there by Lancaster one day. We missed for me. It was back MP visiting, and they had a little. It's not like information center type thing, but there was an area that had different, you know, motorcycle license and boating laws and stuff like that for people that are learning to drive, and they had buggy operator's permit. It's an actual manual that was made to be able to run a buggy down the road.
That's hilarious. Brad says he's got too many projects to name at home and at work. I don't know if I like this beer. Sorry, ADHD, random thought. Don't know.
Ain't too bad.
It's not bad.
Next, you know, he's going to come back and say that half of his projects at home are because of me, because I parked them in his driveway.
I got Jess's project.
I mean, he's only got
Jess's
1, 2, 3. He's only got 4 snowmobiles and 2 pickup trucks there to work on.
Yeah. Jess's project is behind me. If you can see her, she has taken over the complete craft table with her crystals. By the way, these are, I can actually pull some of these up here. These are the type of crystals that Jess is. If I can.
Now, does she got to clean them, polish them, or anything, or is all that already done? She just sells them.
She sells them. She is making jewelry. I don't think she has any of her pieces down here currently. I think she has them upstairs on her display thingy for TikTok. Can you guys hear me when I'm turned around? I keep forgetting that the mic's behind me. But yeah, she is starting her own business of selling crystals and jewelry and things like that. She's not in here, otherwise I'd have her put links to her stuff. But she could use your guys.
So she gets it already polished.
Yeah, she buys them from a wholesaler, so she would be a retailer.
Right.
So she buys them wholesale and then resells them from her store. Just like most stores in the United States do. She's not a, you know, like I said, now she makes her own jewelry. So she'll take those like she has smaller pieces that in here. Yeah, she has smaller pieces in here. You know, like stuff like this that she'll make into jewelry. It's a moon. So kind of stuff like this.
Yeah, it's 5 sleds, Brad, but technically you've got 1 done. Unless you want to count the Arctic Cat that's yours, and then yeah, you still got that one.
And some of this stuff's pretty cool looking.
That's neat. Now is that just a half a ball sphere, or is that a complete ball?
That's a full sphere.
Almost looks like a little miniature Earth. At least at my screen, as small as it is.
Yeah, I mean, she's got all kinds of stuff. She knows what all these names of these different things are. Like different kinds of agates and different things, but...
Yeah, you know, we do. Yeah. Colored ball. Half a colored ball. Next.
But yeah, so she's selling this stuff, and that's stuff that she's making at a jewelry. She's got a bunch of little mushrooms. She has, these ones are cool looking. These are like almost like, it almost looks like pink camo. I don't know what these are. Oh, these are anatomical looking hearts. I don't know how well you can see that.
Oh, those are different.
It's a black onyx, I think it is, but they're anatomical hearts. But yeah, she's got all kinds of cool stuff like that, but she's making jewelry out of that stuff. I think the hearts are going to be earrings. But yeah, so she could use, she's starting her own business, hoping that it takes off and helps subsidize some of our income. You know, just like my YouTube does for me. So she has a whole storefront with I think it's Black Cat Metamart, I think it is. I'll have to look it up here real quick.
Good grief.
Yeah, Black Cat Metamart. She's on Instagram, TikTok. I don't know if she has a Facebook, but she definitely has a Instagram, a TikTok, and her own website. But yeah, she sells all kinds of stuff. Not just the crystals and the jewelry, but she sells other stuff. It's so hot in here. Why is it so freaking hot? But anyway, I wanted to talk about the TA and the projects on the channel. That's where Bradley got distracted with the sleds and apparently Ed's camper and a Polaris and an Arctic Cat and something or other. But anyway, TA. So I have the top end of the TA torn apart, took off the intake, cut the intake to pieces, which was absolutely would have been more fun if I had air tools. So we're at the point now.
Are you done with that, or you got more smoothing to do?
I can't do any more smoothing as far as like I said, I've run out of. I have a whole bunch of stuff and whatever that would work with my air grinder, the die grinder, but obviously I have no air. So there's not really much I can do. I mean, at some point, could I pull the intake back off of it and do some more smoothing? Yeah. But I think that it's good enough to get the job done for what it needs to do. But so I'm at the point now where, well, when I did all that, I had no plans to buy the wiring harness at that point. But now that I've already ordered it and whatever, the next thing I need to do is start pulling the wiring out of the car. Really don't want to pull the wiring out till I have the harness though, because I want to be able to lay it out and see where it goes and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you end up with a mess like you had before.
Right. But anyway, so I still need to pull all that stuff out of the engine bay. I want to spray the engine bay down with a fresh coat of like chassis black, so it's all nice and fresh looking. And I want to spray the engine with a fresh coat of paint and all of the accessories with a nice fresh coat of black. All right, see you later, Elliot. So I want to do all of that, and then
Hi, Biggie.
like I said, so I mean, I already have the fuel pump in, and I have the line running out the back of the car. And so when I throw the new harness in, I should be able to tie it in right there real easy. I got those solderless heat shrink connection thingies. It's got the like the little tube, the little ring of solder in the center.
Yeah, little ball soldering. Slide it together, melt solder, and then heat shrinks down to the
right, but it
wire
also
on each end.
It's also got glue on the ends to hold the heat shrink together. So it literally grips the wire as well. So it should be like an actual watertight seal. And they're also thinner than like butt connecting it or whatever else. It's almost as thin as actually soldering and heat shrink.
Much cleaner look.
Right, which is what I'm going for. I bought a whole bunch of those. I might have to buy more. I don't know. Again, when I bought those, I wasn't planning on replacing the whole harness. I was only planning on replacing the being able to tie into whatever with the Holley stuff. So I might need to buy a bunch more of those. But they weren't that expensive anyway. They were like $15-20 for like, I don't know. I think there's like 40 of each size. But when I get the harness, I'll know exactly what size I need, and I'll probably just order a bunch of that one particular size. But yeah, so we're gonna replace the harness. I'm gonna try to use. I don't know if I'm gonna try to use the original like the stuff that they put the harness in, that corrugated stuff. The wires.
Yeah, the wire loom.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I might try to use the original stuff so it looks like it's still old. Or I might go get that braided nylon stuff they have out now, and just do it all on that braided stuff. But I don't know what sizes to get until everything's here and I can run the wires and figure out what sizes I need and all of that, because that stuff's expensive. I didn't think it would be expensive, but it is. So, and like I said, I have to replace the alternator because the alternator basically fell apart when I went to go take it off the car, which was why we had trouble with that car wanting to stay running and stay charged even after we had it. Like we jump start it, remember it would die again.
Yeah.
Well, that would be why, because as soon as we took the cables off of it, it wasn't charging from the alternator. So yeah, so it wasn't.
It didn't take long.
No, it was just draining the battery and then dying. So I definitely need to replace the alternator. Besides, we're running a hell of a lot more electrical stuff than we were running before. You got the power steering. You got the power fans, the dual electric fans. You got the electric fuel pump.
ECM.
You got the ECM for both
injectors.
The Holley thing and also the Spark. It's got that coil box now.
Yeah.
So, and I plan on probably switching it over to I don't know, can you get an electric fuel pump for the Pontiacs? I mean, not electric fuel pump, the electric water pump for the Pontiacs? Because they have that
should be able to.
Because they have that weird, like, in the timing cover pump.
Yeah. Should be able to.
I don't know, I've never tried. I never went and looked. I just thought of that now. I think it might.
I'm quite sure they got one somewhere, like from drag race applications, I'm sure.
Right, because I mean, at this point, that means with the electric fans I already have, if I have an electric water pump, even if the engine's not running, I can leave. I can have the engine run, and then if I want to stop but still want to cool the engine down, I can just leave that stuff running.
Yep.
And I don't have to worry about. I can like say we're cruising or something, and we stop, whatever. I can leave the fans go for a little bit. I think even the Holley can control that and leave the fans running for however long after the car shuts off. Like part of a delay. But yeah, I plan on doing that. Like I said, I got the valve covers coming because the other ones, I tried to clean them up, Chris. I used a brass wheel. I tried with some, some WD-40 and a Scotch-Brite. And even if I could get all the rust off, it still was pitted. So I don't think there's no saving those except for stripping them and painting them or re-chroming them. And I don't even know if they're original Pontiac chrome valve covers anyway. You know, they may be almost the exact same ones I just picked up from Summit.
Yeah, they're probably an aftermarket at some point.
Yeah. So it's not like they were the coveted chrome ones that came on Pontiac. I think they only came out on the HO cars anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
The HD or whatever they were. Which we already know that engine wasn't one. Because me, Miss Formie, and you sat there for what, like 45 minutes trying to find all the identifications on that engine?
Yeah, at least that, if not an hour.
And we tracked it down to what, a 74 or a 76 Pontiac 400. With the, at that point, it came with the low compression heads. But we already know that this engine was reworked. We know that the heads are 30,000, decked 30,000s. We know that the pistons were bored out 30,000. So I don't know what pistons are on the car. Never had the heads off. We know it's got a cam. So it's going to be rowdy. It's got full long tube headers on it. I don't know what brand of headers it's got on it, but full long tube headers.
Actually, might startle the hell out of you when you fire it up the first time once it gets all dialed in.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Brad in his literal closet.
Yep, my little closet.
But yeah, so yeah, we decoded that the heads are what would they say? We were they 5Gs or 5Cs? I forget what they were. Whatever, but they were like well, after you took the shaved heads, it came down to like the same size CCs as the 6X heads, which everybody covets. So, like I said, with that and the cam and the EFI and the spark stuff, it should be rowdy. It should be fun. I have a feeling it might.
It'll dance.
I have a feeling it might break some other things if I'm not careful. You know, because that is just a junkyard transmission I think it was out of an Olds. That rear end should probably be okay, but it probably should be pulled apart and serviced at some point. Because God knows when the last time that rear end was serviced.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to drain it, at least put some good fluid in it.
Something like that. It's just expensive right now because I got to buy the limited slip freaking oil plus the regular fucking oil, and it's one of those things. If I don't look at it, I don't need to know that if it's bad until it blows up.
Yeah.
What's Fight Trip say? We'll pretend we didn't see that, and it'll be okay.
Maybe Santa Claus will come early.
Dude, I now that Jess isn't in here, and she's probably not going to watch this far into a video anyway, my latest Summit bill, the one that I just placed, was $1,400. So you gotta, and I just went back and looked at the other ones. So the EFI setup originally, I think, okay, so the one that what I put on the charge before, I forget what all was on that charge, but let's see. So the one I did the other week was, let's see, 13. Okay, so the one that I placed earlier, that was 1,300. The one I just placed was 1,400. And the one that I did before was 1,700. That's all for the CFI. Well, for all the parts that I'm putting on now. And that's not including the parts that I bought outright without going through this loan. So that's what? That's basically 2, 3... That's over $4,000.
It don't take long.
So that's kind of why I need these videos to you know, or could use some help, because this video series isn't going to be cheap. Yes and no. I mean, granted, the thing is Jesse, yes, this is all for this EFI conversion, but it wasn't all necessary, if that makes sense. I didn't need to go get a dual electric fan aluminum radiator. I didn't technically need to get the distributor and the coil pack and the, you know, the spark control module. I could have ran it with just the freaking Holly Sniper. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't
the radiator you needed.
Huh? Well, I needed the radiator, but not because of the EFI.
Yeah.
I needed the radiator because we needed the radiator. He's talking about the reason why he runs carbs. If somebody was doing, somebody had a decent running vehicle and wanted to switch to EFI, they could just go out and go get the Sniper and be done with it. You know, which is like, I think like $1,200 to $1,400 for if you get the complete fuel kit with the inline electric fuel pump. You know, the push-pull one. Or pull-push. Yeah, because I think that kit's only like $1,400. But I also didn't get a regular Sniper. I got the freaking Quadrajet Sniper, which is a little bit more expensive. Jesse, a carb is like still $600 to $700. So you're not that much far, and you just think about it. The amount of freaking you gain horsepower, plus you gain fuel economy.
Easy start reliability.
Easy start reliability, doesn't matter, and especially with where I live, where it's cold. You know?
No jetting issues depending on elevation changes wherever you may drive with the vehicle.
It'll self-adjust. Jesse says his was $450, brand new or used? And how long ago?
What size carb? Yeah. What kind of what size carb?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. I need an 850 or bigger for the TA. You know, so I weighed all of the benefits. You know, I sat there and weighed it out. I know what I wanted to do with the car. I know that I wanted to be able to cruising with the car. You know, go car cruises or car shows or I mean, I'd love to do the Hot Rod Power Tour or the Bandit Run. You know, I want to go back out to Dayton, Ohio to the Trans Am Nationals. So I want the car to be reliable and fun to drive.
Yeah, Miss Formy's Fun with Princess. First time she went there and ended up getting featured in a national magazine.
He's got a 550 cam. 550 CFM, I guess. Geez, that's even smaller than my 350. The 350 takes a 650. I think the 305 is a 600 CFM carb.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is why I had too much carb with the engine that I turned into a table.
We can't even talk about the bare basics to the one engine I got.
Which one?
It's minimum. It's 1250, and that's the baby carburetor you can put on it.
What size engine is that?
358.
A 358 cubic inch, but it takes a 1200 CFM carb? What is it, bored, stroked?
Well, yeah, a little bit, but I mean 358 cubic inch, but we're pushing, you know, close to 14-to-1 compression, 800 horsepower.
So it's stroked. To get that much compression, you've got to be stroked. Stroked with
I don't remember the specifics off the top of my head right now.
Well, I'm telling you, it's got to be.
It's not streetable. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to have a big cam to it. It's got to be stroked, and it's got to have small CC freaking heads on it. To be able to push that much compression.
Oh, bow tie heads. GM bow tie heads.
Yeah.
Cast iron.
Yeah, it's just a small. That's a small carb. Yeah, it's only a 300 ICX, so it's only 300 cubic inches. So yeah, 550 makes sense. Yeah, it's just the Pontiac 400 will definitely suck in a hell of a lot of air. And God, I can't wait to like that thing used to shake the fucking ground back when it had the wrong carb on it. Can you imagine what that thing's gonna do now?
Mm-hmm. So I said it's probably gonna startle the hell out of you the first time you fire it up.
Yeah, I did throw the pipes mufflers back on it, which should be, I don't know if they're quieter or louder than the Flowmaster 44s. But it was loud with the Flowmasters on it.
I don't think they might be just a tad louder.
They might be. I mean, the only louder ones that they sell from pipes is the Violators. Because their race ones are quieter.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, speaking of noise, thanks for the reminder. Anybody see the latest BS coming out of California?
Everything coming out of California.
Most it is, but I'm just real BS. Another issue. They're typical communist country thinking. Everybody's familiar with stoplight cameras. You run through on a red light and you get a ticket in the mail, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have, I think it's 4 or 5 of the largest city areas in California now are going to be doing a beta program with a noise pollution camera that's going to measure the decibel of your vehicle as you go under it.
Yeah, I do remember that.
To fight noise pollution.
That's when I run my cutouts, and as soon as I go underneath of a head, if I approach a red light, I just freaking close the cutouts. Go past the senators' houses, open them up.
Mm-hmm.
Close them back up.
Give me my straight pipes.
Right. Like I said, I want to put them.
And a big jig.
I sat there with Brad, and I priced out. It's going to be over $1,000 to put those cutouts on the TA. Like 900 to 1,000. I think it's 900 to 11, depending on what I do with it. Because of the fact that I'm not, if I were to just include them in a kit that I'm already, a new kit, it wouldn't be that expensive. But because I'm retrofitting one of their old kits.
You're just gonna dump them straight to the ground under the car?
Yep. So I'm not sure if you've seen the way my exhaust system runs. If you watch that video, it comes out, it runs into an X right behind the transmission, and then it dumps into each of the 2 mufflers, up over the rear end and out the sides. The cutouts go right before they start. It replaces the piece that bends into the X. So the cutout will go straight. And when you close the cutouts, it'll make it bend in towards the X. So literally when you have the cutouts open, it is literally straight. And it'll have a 2.5-inch downturn tip right after it. So I'm not going to run a second set of pipes out to the back. It'll literally dump it out right underneath the car, right behind the transmission. So right after the cross member, or probably actually right by the cross member, it'll dump them down, but it'll be like right around the edge of the subframe. So if I do it right, the subframe should hide the tips. So when you look underneath the car, you won't see them. Truck was really loud on open headers, Jesse says. You gonna fall asleep on me there, Brad?
No, I'm good. I'm wide awake.
I don't know if I want to drink. I've literally been sitting here for I don't know if I want to drink it.
Shut up.
Jesse says all set up to be quiet with cutouts closed. Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't. I probably would go with the same headers that I have. I mean, the same mufflers that I have, which are the, what are they, the Street Pros? I think from Pipes. But there is a hell of a lot of difference with mufflers versus not muffled on that car. I have video of that car running without the mufflers on it, and it's loud. It's like if you've ever heard of a NASCAR fire up, that's what it sounds like. When you hear those stock cars fire up, that's what this TA sounds like without mufflers on it. Chris should know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the cam in this thing.
Rub your hands together and get that Grinch and Stole Christmas face like, this is going to be fun.
It just gets giddy.
Even better when you're sitting in the vehicle and you get that instant vibrating, it's literally a stab right up the back of your backside when it fires off, and then it settles down into the low idle.
Well, I mean, the car does that even when it has. I mean, the car is loud enough that it does that even when it's muffled. I mean, like I said, that you stand next to that car on the freaking ground while that thing's running, and you can feel it in your feet.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting in it when it fired, like the race car, you fire that off. I mean, they come to life with such a snarl and a jolt. I mean, it's just like getting kicked in the backside.
Well, I don't think.
Yeah, then it settles down into the idles like.
I don't think my TA's that nasty. But I mean,
no, not on fire up.
Yeah, I mean, it's loud, but it's not. It doesn't have the compression that those things do. I mean, what do we think? That's gonna run like a 9.5 to 10 to 1 compression in that TA.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Because
to be streetable with your pump gas.
Right. I think stock it was an 8.5, but with the shaved heads and the cam and everything, it might be a little higher.
It's got a little snarl too when it fires.
It does. It puts a grin on my face.
I'd love to hear that one I got with a healthy engine fire up.
Oh my god!
I mean,
yeah, that one that's in your SE.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, that thing snarls to life now. Even hurt, and just sits there. And,
you need to get it taken apart and get it sent out.
Yeah. I imagine if I pulled the plugs out. I mean, because it still got the plugs that was in it when I bought it. I mean, I could have fouled out plugs on it from the blow-by, but actually changed plugs out.
Right.
Yeah, it's hurt.
You still got the blow-by. You just take
it apart. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the plugs ain't fired out.
All right. I mean,
it needs rebuilt.
Yeah, I would rebuild.
I knew that when I bought it, but I'm like, okay, so it's a running, driving Trans Am with a hurt engine that fires to life with a hell of a snarl, and it'll move under its own power. You want how much work? Give me $1,500 and get it out of here. Let me go to the bank. I ain't got that much. Wait a minute. Let me check the bank. I ain't got that much. Okay, I know you love these things. Give me $500 today. You've got until March 1st when the auction opens. If it's not gone by then, whatever you paid, you lose, and I send the car to the auction. I'll be right back. Write it up. Ain't gonna tell me to think twice. Yeah. And then totally blew Miss Formy's mind because she didn't know anything about it. So I loaded it with like, why are you taking your car to them? I'm going to have the mechanic work on the lights. You know, then a few weeks later, come back in. He's like, what are you doing with the trailer? What are you doing today? What are you doing? Because we're always on the videos like, Well, hauling, so I'm taking chains out of the car to tie it down. And I'm holding the phone where it's looking at the trailer, and the car's on the trailer where we drove it across from his rollback. What are you doing? Hauling a car for a guy.
Yeah, you're the guy.
It's like hauling a car for a guy, and they just looks. And then I got called a dog. You're a dog. You're the guy. You bought that Trans Am, because I showed it to her 2 or 3 times when I'd stop it. I was like, I didn't do nothing of the kind. He gave it to me for a circumstantial exchange of fundable funds.
Jesse says that the heaviest sounding engine
I stole that car when I bought it.
Yeah. Jesse says that the heaviest sounding engine he ever heard was the trophy truck.
Wheels on the bus. Wheels on the bus.
What? Chris, what did you say?
He's wheel on busing.
Oh.
That's my service blipped a little bit, so I was going wheels on the bus.
Yeah, we could hear you, so your service wasn't cut out that bad.
Yep.
You just lost video. We could still hear you. Anyway, so Jesse says that the heaviest sounding engine he ever heard was a trophy truck, and you could feel the vibration go right up here, right through you. Yeah, as a kid, I grew up with monster trucks that made like freaking 2,000 horsepower. They'll fire up. You can hear them. You could feel them on the other side of the stadium. You knew exactly when those trucks fired up, even if they weren't in the stadium yet.
Yeah, I think trophy trucks are running around 1,200 now.
Did anybody see Cletus's new freaking engine for Mullet? He got a Steve Morrison engine.
No, I started watching that video and
I watched both the one that Steve Morrison did.
Out.
Yeah, I watched both the one that Steve Morrison did and the one that he did of unboxing it when it got to the shop. Fucking 840 horsepower NA. And he's getting 2 turbos that are twice the size of the ones that he had on it before.
Yep.
So basically 2 of Ruby's turbos.
How many cubes is it running?
It's a big block. I don't know.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's gonna be gnarly.
I mean, 800 some horse. You're talking about a mid 2000s, later 2000s NASCAR engine. With the exception of the fact that the NASCAR engine was built on a small block platform.
Right. Well, this is a big block, and it's 840 horsepower NA. That's with the low compression. Obviously, it's built for a turbo. So it's already going to be low compression and, a turbo cam, which does not put out as much. He said that this thing would be a 1,300 horsepower engine if it was built to be
naturally aspirated.
But because it's built to be turboed, it's still running 840 horsepower without the turbos. What are we doing there, Brad? Are you trying to show something off, or fruit snacks?
Well, I was dumping them out.
We knew you're a little fruity.
Well, yeah. Look who my father is.
Does your wife call you a fruit snack?
His mother raised him, so. I've heard her call him several things. I don't recall that one ever coming out.
My little fruit snack.
Most of the time it's
asshole.
Yep.
It's the same one I get.
That one he got honest, so I can claim fame to that one.
But yeah, so they're thinking that the engines that Cletus just got shall run around 3,000 horsepower.
Now, didn't he get one? Was it a GM crate? Didn't he get a crate engine or something from GM here not too long ago? The biggest one they make now, or something before?
He's got a big block for that was originally in Toast that they blew up out in Australia. That's now in the Twisted Tea Crown Vic. They had the LS that was in Mullet with the aluminum rods. That's now no longer in it. They were thinking about putting that one in Leroy, but they don't think that that's going to be a good option because they want to do the drag and drive events with Leroy. So they actually have Leroy's original engine is back, and they're throwing that in Leroy with a front-mounted transmission, and they're doing a 4-link solid rear axle. I think solid rear. Either they're doing something with Leroy. They've cut the back end of Leroy off. It's gone. Everything from the B pillars back they cut off.
Yeah.
So they're sticking Leroy's original engine back in Leroy. Ruby's not getting anything different. Mullet got the Steve Morrison engine. You know what? I think the big block is what is in Rocky, the Blazer. That got that blower engine. So he's going to be running a methanol injected blower engine in Rocky.
Shouldn't you goddamn vehicles keep track of their freaking names?
Huh?
He's getting too damn many vehicles to keep up with all the names.
Nah, I got them all. I know which ones are which ones. I mean,
what they call a Camaro?
The Camaro, this Toast.
Yeah,
that's right.
The third gen is Toast.
Which Rocky is getting
named by the fans.
Old blower.
What? Yeah, it's getting Toast's old blower, the American.
Yep.
The American flag blower. And that's also another. I do believe that's another big block. That's in that.
I can't deny. Racer's old heart. No replacement for displacement.
Yeah, and then they got that Godzilla engine. That Ford. That's Ford, right? The Godzilla.
Yeah, Ford Godzilla engine.
And they're gonna stick that in the.
Maybe that's one I'm thinking of.
They're sticking the Godzilla engine, I do believe, in the Fox body that one of the guys from Motion Raceworks owned.
And then they were going to do another.
Yeah, they still have that U
motor in that. Yeah, the U.
Which that should just get an LS.
I'm behind this stuff because I think the last video I watched, I didn't think they did, was that wheelie car they had that they rode going up across the track out of the
LS
track entrance.
The Fiero. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
There's
like I said, I'm behind in stuff.
Well, I'm behind in some of the other channels that I want to watch. I think Dylan McCool or somebody's got a ratty Chevelle that they just pulled out that they're gonna do. I just came across a new channel where the dude is restoring an AAR CUDA with a 340 CUDA. This thing is beaten, smashed, full of bullet holes. Has not had the motor or anything in it since the 70s. They're trying to track down the original motor and trans, which should be in a Dodge truck somewhere. That they do believe is still local, and they might be able to find it. But yeah, and it was that gorgeous blue with the black, like, not the solid black stripe, but that stripe that breaks up towards the end.
Yeah.
But gorgeous blue. That one, let me see if I can find that one, because it should be in my watch list. It looks like it's going to be a good one to watch. And the guy who's doing it is he's easy to watch, and even though there's not a lot of editing, it's entertaining. It's called Jennings Motorsports. 1970 AAR CUDA restoration. See if I can put up just the. I want just the thumbnail. It's not going to give me just the thumbnail. That'll be. I can share that. Wait till you see how bad this thing is. It's up on screen now.
Ouch.
It's hurt. But
that's not a restoration. That's a resurrection.
Yeah, it's been in the woods since the 1970s. But that's gonna be fun. I like those super like in-depth restorations where you're basically blowing the whole car apart. That one that I watch, Mr. Fireman 164, I think. The one with the disabled daughter. He has that second gen or first gen Camaro that he basically has kept. I don't know, I think just the roof. I think everything else has been replaced. The roof and maybe the frame rails. But he's actually and he's one of those people that won't just take shit as it comes. He modifies almost every part that he gets. So he got like a subframe connector, and instead of just welding it to the floor like it says to do it, he literally cut up the floor to be able to weld the subframe connectors to the actual rear subframe. So basically completely box it. But yeah, Mr. Fireman 164. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah, this channel here, it's freaking like you should see his jig. Yeah, like here's, I've muted so you could. I mean, look, I mean, just look. He's just got this thing completely apart, and this whole car comes apart, and he can put it back together like fucking Legos. Because he has it all pinned to like all of the body panels. He has bolts that go through that line everything up, and he can blow the whole car down to pieces, and it's all sitting on this jig. So it's all mounted to this jig, and he can put the whole car back together and take it apart within like an hour or so. If I go to a different video, he should have it. Yeah. So this was it only like 2 weeks ago. Hold on. Gotta go past the ad that's not mine, which I'm not gonna get paid for now. There we go. That was it just a couple weeks ago. And it's not actually together, it's just bolted. All the, nothing's welded. That's his
bolted and pinned.
Yep. So yeah, he's showing like he's got it fully braced up. Everything's tied together, so when he goes to go blow it apart and you put it back together, he knows where everything just goes back together exactly where it came apart at. He sits there and explaining everything.
And figure out.
I didn't mean to actually. See, like there, he's talking about some of the pins that he has. That's to hold the quarter to the tail pan.
I wonder if he's using Glecko fasteners at all.
No, it's all machine screws. But this whole car comes apart. The whole top half of it comes off. So the doors are original. I think part of that area right behind the rear window is original still. The floor is obviously new. Both rockers are new. This car was hit really bad in the 80s, and when he started working on it, he only meant to do a refresh on it. And when he started taking measurements, he found out how twisted this car actually was. And so basically he had to cut all the freaking twisted metal from the accident out. So like I said, the whole firewall's new. The cow's original. So anything that's still red or blue is original. See if I can go back far enough. But I've been watching this since I think like 2015. Yeah. Okay, here you go. Here's before he took the car apart. So this was back in 2017. Is it gonna play? Why is it not playing? That's not the one. I need this one. Yeah, it's that I do find it actually pretty cool. I mean, I would love, you know, obviously it's really expensive to build a Chevelle, an original Chevelle. I'd build a Chevelle out of parts from a parts catalog. I don't know how much more expensive it is to do it that way versus finding one, but wouldn't let me load that one.
Problem with Chevelle is fucking everybody's done one just about.
I don't care. I don't care about whether or not somebody else has done one. It's a matter of what I want. You know, I want a 72 Chevelle. I don't want the 69 or the 70 or whatever. I want a 72. I think it's the 72 that I like. The one without the taillights and the rear bumper.
Yeah.
It's got the round lights, I think.
Put them on the back tail panel.
Yeah. Oh, man, I gotta sit through this whole ad. This is, all right, so this is back in 2017 is when he was deciding whether or not he was going to fully rebuild this car or scrap it because of all the damage. And he's like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And yeah, he's got the car. I think it's going, it originally had a, he had a big block in it, which I think is the engine that's now in his Blazer. He's
nice shop.
He's putting an LS in it. Yeah, it's nice. I watched him build this shop too. Yeah, like, I mean, it's pretty bad when you have Bondo on the underside of the car. But yeah, this video here, he goes through and he shows you all of the damage that he's found. That he didn't know was there when he first started. He's one of those ones that kind of just holds the camera and talks. He doesn't do a whole lot of editing. I think he's showing where he was taking measurements from. But yeah, he's fun to watch. I mean, he's smart, and I've learned a lot from him. You can see how that hole's oblong, where the frame rail itself is twisted. You can see that frame rail's twisted. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it back there. That's supposed to be a round hole. But yeah, he's taken this car completely apart, and because there was even damage all the way, because it was hitting the rear. There was you know how like the shockwave runs through the metal. There was evidence of the shockwave all the way up into the firewall, where the firewall was
rippled all the way through.
Yep.
They got power drove then.
Yeah, I mean, it got nailed hard. And then when he starts taking apart, you can see he shows where they really did a crappy job. They kind of just slapped metal on and made it look right instead of actually fixing, you know, obviously pulling the car or whatever. And so I do believe like his one quarter wasn't even really attached right when he took it apart. I think this is where, yeah, he's going to show you the damage where it's rippled up through the transmission tunnel. But it's amazing. It's been how many years since this car was wrecked, and you can still see, you know what I mean? Like you can tell, you know, where it hit and where it rippled through the car at. But I haven't watched this video in a long time, so. but it was originally a blue car, and somebody painted it red at some point. Probably after the accident. I don't know, but he's fun to watch. The car restoration. A lot of the other ones that I was watching, they kind of stopped. Like they stopped making videos. But he's still doing pretty good. He's not super big, but his work is really nice. But there's a few of them that started doing some nice builds that I want to watch that have come across my For You page or recommendations or whatever. And I think we might end the live stream only because we got Jesse in the chat, and then I think it's just us up here on screen. I don't know if there's anybody else.
Yeah, miss for me.
Because yeah, we're down to 2 people.
She should be in there anywhere.
No, I haven't seen her in a while. But it only says there's 2 people watching, so I don't think it was a bad live stream, even if it didn't last that long. I think we had some good stuff going on, and I'm exhausted. I mean, I worked 5 10-hour days today, this week, and basically yesterday we did the test live out in the garage, which obviously I need to do some things before we can make that a possibility. She got tired of losing all her points. But we did. I gotta fix some things before we can go live out in the garage off of that laptop. And I freaking pulled that trans today by myself. I really need to get some local car people, man. I'm tired of doing all this shit by myself. It's great. It's fine when you just want some solitude and you're just gonna cruise and whatever. But when you get to that heavy stuff, it's nice to be able to have somebody come over and just give you a freaking hand.
Yeah, you know some. They just live too far away.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like if Brad, Brad can't help me right now anyway. He's working. I'm gonna see how much a 46.
Yeah, I'm in Rochester. And tomorrow's teardown.
46 RE way. Okay, yeah. I wonder, I thought that fucker was heavy. You know how much a 46 RE weighs? That I just pulled down by myself?
250 pounds.
Oh, close. It's 193 pounds.
Oh.
I wrestled that fucker myself. Yeah, it's 193 pounds, and I pulled that out of the truck myself. That's the fun part, is going to be putting it back up in the truck.
God bless floor jacks.
The other fun thing is that's got to go in the back of the Kia. I don't know if it's going.
God bless that other tour you haven't managed to find yet.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you mean the engine hoist that I can't find?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have a floor jack, Jesse, and you got to understand, where I was working wasn't a level concrete surface. I was working.
No, it's on a hill.
And it's all busted up. It's busted up macadam. Yeah, but the problem is, Jesse, it's not the fact of it won't fit back there. It's not a solid trunk floor. It's a piece of it's a piece of cardboard with carpet on top of it. That's what's back there. I'm worried about the freaking transmission just going through the back floor. Yeah, yeah, sure, Jesse. I'll pull that out. The problem is then the transmission gets sunk down into a 1.5 foot hole. It's
where
already
the spare
weighs
tire should be.
What? The spare tire that doesn't come
where
with
the
Kias?
Spare tire should be.
That Kias don't come with?
You're going to have to take some of the boards from the shelves you tore out and build you a platform.
Build you a
transfer
spare.
sit on back there.
You have to literally order a donut for them to supply you with a spare. They give you a bottle of air and a jack and tire wrench. That's what they give you. Oh, and you get a complimentary air pump. It's actually not a bottle of air, it's a bottle of sealant. It's a bottle of sealant, a jack, a scissor jack, and a handle, a lug wrench. Actually, no, it's not even a lug wrench. It's just the handle for the jack because it doesn't have a lug thing on the end. Because they don't expect you to take the tire off. If you need to take the tire off, you're supposed to call like AAA or something. Jesse, it's part of the things that they do to meet certain regulations and fuel mileage. Literally, that spare tire changes the fuel mileage enough to kick them out of being able to say it gets a certain amount of fuel mileage. Just that much that much weight from the tire versus not having the tire in there, among some other things. But I'm not complaining. I mean, that car took a fucking wallop, and I didn't feel a damn thing. Literally. I mean, other than the airbag going off in front of my face, there was almost zero impact felt from me. You know? I was holding the steering wheel and everything, and I didn't move.
What's the matter, Poor Squirrel? Did the rain scare you?
You're driving through rain, huh?
Yeah, it just started. Nice thunder boomer down here in Texas.
Oh yeah, it's been downpouring for the past 3 hours, 4 hours now.
I have no idea what it's doing
here in Rochester.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's doing here. I haven't peeked outside since like 7. It's
a nice 101 degree day today.
It was hot here too. Trust me.
It got to 92 here in Rochester.
Yeah, I was out in it underneath of a truck. No, I did hurt the good one. The good one is the one that died. The sporty one is the one that bit the bullet. We have the gray one with the smaller 4-cylinder and the 4-speed automatic. And the crappier interior and the not backup camera and, you know. I don't have the wrecked car anymore. The wrecked car went bye-bye on Thursday. No, the wrecked car went bye-bye on Wednesday. We sold it on Wednesday. $700.
How'd you guys do in your sale?
700.
Ain't bad.
No, not for a whole, not for a totaled truck, totaled car. We only had liability on those cars because the cars were too freaking old. I didn't want the. If we wrecked it and it was something that I could save, I didn't want the insurance totaling it out. And
yeah, but depending on what insurance you have, you can buy the car back.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to.
But you'd have that reconstructed title.
Right. But see, the thing is you have to buy the car back. You know, so you're spending the money to buy the car back, then plus having to fix it. If I don't have liability if I only have liability, I don't have to buy the car back. I can just fix it.
Yep.
Plus $500 process to go through all the inspection and the paperwork hoopla to get it retitled.
Which I didn't have.
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with anything. It's got that green car still got a clean title. And the thing is given a different time or place, probably could have fixed it. But then again, like I said earlier in the live stream, that front bumper alone was $600. So front bumper, driver's passenger side fender, possibly passenger side door, a hood, rad support, whatever that structure that runs from. Did I just lose everybody? No. Whatever that structure is that runs from the strut tower up to the rad support would have needed replaced. plus all the stupid little odds and ends crap that is on the front of that car that got smashed to smithereens too. And the headlights on that car are like $800 a piece. So unless I found...
nice for fuel economy, but horrible for fixing.
Well, no, it's because they're all the new cars are like that though. I mean, you can't tell me a new car out today that doesn't have stupid expensive fucking headlights, and why. I have no idea. I don't know why that fucking headlight's worth $800 and some dollars. But they are. Because we were thinking about replacing the headlights on that car because it's got those little micro cracks in it. Well, it's got big cracks in it now, but they had those little micro cracks in it, and they weren't like super clear anymore. We were going to think about getting new ones until I priced them, and they were $800 a piece. No, even the cheapy, like the knockoff ones, were expensive. So it's like, you know, like the not Kia ones.
Yeah.
But I already know that the not Kia ones are junk. They're junk. Because I've had other people, when I was looking online, that had bought them, which is why I definitely didn't want to get those, because they don't work right. They're cheap. But anyway, it would have cost me more in parts than probably the car is worth just to fix the front nose. You know. I mean, that car did not owe us a damn thing. It had over 207,000 miles on it. She bought that back in 2014. It was completely paid off. You know, like I said, 207,000 miles on it. And the thing ran beautifully. I mean, it had a little bit of a valve train tick to it because of the oil consumption that those engines have, and it may have run low on oil a few times without us realizing it was low on oil till it started making the "I'm starving of oil" sound. But yeah, other than that, there was really nothing wrong with that car except for the stereo. But, you know, it is what it is. That car was fun. Chris got to drive in it. That car got up and went. You know, I kind of wish I was driving the silver one that morning. But, you know, it is what it is. Jess was sending me pictures of ones that she was looking at. It looks like to replace that car is going to cost like $9,000. In something similar from the ones that she was sending me. So, headlights and taillights are all the engineering time. All the bodies are the same. The headlights and taillights are different. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the other thing was there's really nothing that I could have pulled off of that green car that it would have worked on the gray car, that the gray car needed. Because the one was a 2011, obviously a completely different drivetrain. And it actually is a different body style too. I mean, the doors and stuff would have worked, but the hatches are different, the taillights are different. Even the bulbs that they use in them are different. I couldn't even swap a headlight bulb from one car to the other, because the one used like an H something bulb and the other one used some weird bulb. They weren't even the same. So, even the fog lights, those brand new fog lights, which actually did survive the accident. Those brand new fog lights that were like $100 a piece. I think they were $100 a piece. They would not have fit on a gray car. So, it just sucks. Like I said, and it also forced me to have to freaking dump money into the truck and put time into the truck that I wasn't ready to put into it. But it is what it is.
Scrap happens.
Yep, it did. It scrapped itself. Scrapped the deer, scrapped the car, scrapped my plans. So, Oh.
Well, that's like my fiance's car. When I first came up here to start working, the right wheel bearing started going bad.
Did you ever see my
Did
you ever see my truck when
Sorry.
the frickin' wheel bearing went?
No.
I was on my way to work, and I was like, again, it was like 5 minutes from freaking work, and the fucking wheel bearing on the passenger side front tire came apart. My wheel was just kind of, it was tucked underneath of the truck.
Ooh.
Yeah, it came apart bad. Tore some shit up.
But I had the part. I ordered it. I had it sent to the house, and she had the pastor of their church replace it for her. She took the car down to get brand new tires put on all 4 corners. Dude comes out, hey, your right wheel bearing's not tight.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
One of the nuts on the front of the truck for the wheel bearing is a torque to 170 foot-pounds.
Yep.
You try breaking that fucker loose, because it's definitely more than 170 foot-pounds to break it loose.
Oh, yeah.
After it's been on there for a good bit.
But yeah, like you were saying, car didn't owe you anything. This car she has doesn't owe us anything. It was a $250 car from her uncle, and I put $500 in parts, and it's pushing 315,000 miles.
The gray one didn't cost us anything.
That dude is having a shitty night.
The gray one we have.
He left in great sunshine on his crotch rocket and blue jeans and a t-shirt. Now he's trying to go home.
Oh, he's wet.
In a deluge.
He's lucky you don't wreck the bike. Because they don't have they're basically riding on slicks. At least like a Harley sometimes has tread on the frickin' tires. Those street bikes like have nothing.
Very much sleek.
It's like the inner tubes you run down the fucking river on.
Yep.
But yeah, the gray car, we don't have anything into it. We got it for free.
Nice.
They tried to sell it. It was Luca's godparents' car, and they tried to sell it and realized that they weren't going to get freaking diddly scrap for it. So they're like, well, instead of us trading it in for almost next to nothing, why don't you guys just keep it?
There you go.
But that was a couple years ago. We were still in Tamaqua, I think, when that happened. But yeah, the Kia though, that thing was expensive. I think she paid like 18 grand for it back in 2014. It was 2 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 2 years old then. She just got paid. She just paid that off like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know. I feel bad because that was a car that Jess had when I met her. So it kind of sucks that it's gone. I like that one better than the gray one. The gray one's like the green one. You could drive it with one finger. The steering wheel was really not like light and free. It was the suspension felt much better. It was very nimble, and it was obviously pretty quick for what it was. And the gray one is everything opposite that. Like, if you go from driving the green one for a while and jump in the gray one, you're like, oh my god, it's like going back to no power steering. It's not that bad. It's got, but compared to the green one was so light and free with the steering wheel compared to the gray one. The gray one's suspension's a lot stiffer. It's not as nice of a ride. But yeah, I don't know. And the other one, the gray one's just a regular Kia Soul, whereas the green one was a Kia Soul Plus, or Exclaim, or whatever they call them. It was the fully loaded. There every option was checked for that car.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that freaking alien green, the original alien green. They came out with a second one that's a little lighter colored. I like that original alien green. It's almost like a silver green. When the light hits it, it's kind of silvery.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, That was nice. It was a nice car. For a hamster car. But anyway, I think we're going to end it here. And catch you guys next week. We're going to run the credits here real quick. And then we'll be out. You guys going to say goodbye?
Okie dokie. Everybody have a good week.
No parting words, Brad?
Yeah, have a good week. Don't, stay safe and stay on this side of the ground.
Don't hit no deer.
Yeah, don't hit no deer.
All right, bye.